a vote? Okay. So sorry. I knew I had too much material in here. I knew that too. Okay. How many of you have to leave by 8? And it's okay? Ooh, really?
Can I text my kids?
8 a.m. Yeah. Well, this will be your breakfast right here. The crackers and stuff. Okay. Sorry, guys. I get so... Can't even help myself. All right. We're going to go to the next one. Did you do it yet? Okay, I want you to share this with your loved one and talk about it. Daira loves everybody. He's like, hey! Because this is very indicative of where you are in your life, right? When you have a visual of where you are when in each spoke, and the ones that, which ones are the ones that need your most attention? Which, like, not the label, but the lower, the higher ones? The lower ones. Those are your problem children, right? Take a look at that. When you go home, like, really think about, like, what can I do to improve it? Don't get caught up in the stories and the reason why you can't, and like, nobody cares. Turn to your neighbor and say, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your story but you. Because it's a cushion. It makes you feel like it's justified. Well, you know what? You can't change something if you believe that you can't change something, right? So you got to look at it like, pretend like it's your best friend Wheel, and you're trying to help them. What do I need to do in that area that needs attention to change it? Because it's going to drain you forever, for as long as you're breathing, if you keep ignoring it, right? Ignoring it doesn't make it go away, does it? Right? Okay, is that helpful? Is that good? That's so good. Okay. All right. Vision prompting questions. Okay? All right, this part is going to take a little bit of time, and I want you to do what you can. We'll give it like 2 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. 5 minutes. So kind of go through it and really backfill it when you have more time to reflect on it. Okay, so the first one is, this is going to help you sort of formulate your vision. What's the one thing you're willing to work to accomplish in 2025, and why? The why is what, remember the why page? The why is what's going to keep you in the game. It's not what you say you're going to do, it's why you're doing it. Okay? What is that one thing you're going to accomplish? And maybe you already started, but you're going to nail it this year. I'm not asking for a list of 10 things, because when you're overwhelmed, you do nothing. Just one thing. Pick one thing. Second thing, what keeps you up at night? Your eyes pop open at 3. Who wakes up at 3? Oh, did you say stressed? 3 a.m. How many wake up at 3 a.m.? Studies have shown that that's usually the hour when your brain wakes up. Jay raises his wife's arm. 3 a.m. How many 3 a.m.ers are in the house? 3 a.m.s? Woohoo! Right? Oh my gosh. What, when you wake up, what are you thinking about? And then you can't even go back to sleep because you're still thinking about it, right? See? Oh, can I tell you what has worked for me? Because that used to be like, oh my God, I'm exhausted by the time I'm supposed to wake up because I lost 3 hours being awake, right? So I do the meditation app. Like, I put the headset in my ears. And it's like, visualize or whatever. They're like different apps. So the one I have is Breathe, but you have like different versions. Like, it could be visualization. It could be dealing with anxiety when you go to sleep. So it just depends on my mood each day. And then I put the lovely eye mask on, and I am out, baby, before the app stops talking, like 20 minutes. And then I wake up in the middle of the night and I take the thing off. But It has worked amazingly for me for the last 3 years. And in most cases, I sleep through the night. It's what you listen to and what you watch and what you take in before you go to sleep. It stays with you. Your brainwave, right? It's like processing. So if you watch, how many of you like watch scary movies before you go to sleep? Crime shows. I used to do that. I'm like, oh my God, I'm waking up in the middle of the night. So I don't do that anymore because it doesn't help my sleep. What areas do you rock at? What are your skills, talents, gift zone? You should know this. I don't care if it's cooking. I don't care if it's, well, I would say laundry, but I'm not very good at that either. Bart has the full laundry. But you know what I'm saying. What are your gift zones? The things that like, oh man, I can cruise through this because I got this, right? What is that? Is it being organized? Is it being an instructor of Muay Thai, breaking down the pieces, whatever she said, the moves and the things, right? It comes naturally to you. It's what people come and ask you to do because you got this, right? Next page. What are you doing when you feel like you're on top of the world? You're unstoppable. Like you can't touch this. And it's not ego. It's like, I rock at this. Have you ever said that to yourself? Like, besides saying, oh, stupid, why did I do that? Like, you're like, man, I rock. You know what I mean? You're like, that was pretty good. Yeah? Okay? Next one, who makes you feel untouchable? Who are your champions? Like when you're like, you know, your face is in the dirt, you're trying to get yourself back up. Those people are the ones like, you got this. I believe in you. I've been so blessed with so many people who have said that to me that I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have people who believe in me. Like they saw what was in me that I didn't see for myself. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be a real estate agent, award-winning, if the broker didn't say, I knew that you would be good at this when I didn't want to do sales, okay? So list their first names. You should send them, oh, let me extend a little challenge for you. Write a handwritten thank you card or just a note card and mail it to them. I was thinking about you. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for your support. Note cards are a rare art now. And it's so meaningful when you get one, you know. Number 6, if you knew you could not fail, what would you, left the you out, what would you be doing right now? You could do anything, anything. Could it be skydiving? Could it be bungee jumping? It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be work. This is not just about work. This is about who you are. This is about you stepping boldly and courageously. What would you be doing right now? You knew you could not fail. No one could reject you. Nobody can stop you. What's she going to do? What was her answer?
I wrote down crypto. But he's not going to be happy.
Oh, boy. That was a whole conversation in itself. Okay. Number 7, what would you do? Oh, my God, I got some disconnected sentence right. What would you do if you had 5 years to live? I don't mean to be morbid, but life happens. We don't have control of when our last day is. If you knew, if you had control and you knew you had 5 years, what would you do right now? How would your day look every day? You kind of live differently when you feel like your time is limited, right? What conversations would you need to have that you haven't had? What's the unfinished business? What's the closure that would maybe repair one of the spokes of the wheel? Ooh. Deep, huh? Pardon my broken disconnected sentences, the I and the you. I don't know. But I have to tell you, I had a blast preparing this. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. Somebody read that, please.
Your vision statement should move you emotionally.
Yes, ma'am. It should move you. It should just like make you cry and laugh and whatever else, okay? So I attached an example of my vision. Do you want me to read it, or you want to read it yourself and write your own vision? More of a time thing. I don't need to read it. But you have an idea, right? Huh? You want to come with me? Oh, yeah. So this is the crazy stuff, right? Like I knew there were some things I wanted to do, but like I've been moved in so many, like from different people. Like I don't know why you would know this, but I was asked to serve as a school board chair at North Hills Christian School, which is a school that my kids never went to, but I was asked by the leadership team, nominated, all the things. I never asked for any of this stuff, right? It just comes. And I prayed about it, and this is my second year. They're like, you're doing such a phenomenal job. Well, anyway, so this mission trips are coming up in the Philippines, April 2025, and then this other thing in Thailand, which is where I'm from, just like landed at our church. So I had this vision, speaking of vision, that I was going to be there. I was there till I was 14, right? But I was going to be there and give back in some way, but I didn't know what it was. And so now all the eyeballs are on me because I'm the only Thai person in our church. And they're like, you're coming, right? I'm like, yeah, of course. And they're like, well, yeah, the ministry is to teach them English. Can you speak Thai? I'm like, yes, I could speak up until, 14. I can read and write. Who knew? Who would have thunk that I would be doing this? And I'm so excited, right? Isn't that cool? Yes. Very cool. Okay. So anyway, what is your vision? So be like, man, just lay it in there, okay? Don't hold back. You can't fail. Well, you can miss the shot that you never took. Does that sound right? No. You can miss the shot. I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean. You have to have a target, and you just got to take a shot at it. And your vision should be on your wall, on your computer screen. This is not, you don't write it out and then like, oh, let's not tell anybody about my vision because they might make fun of me. Like, well, don't show it to them. That's not the names on the list. You know what I mean? The people that would support you. It should be people that would support you and they're like, come on, let's go. It's accountability. It's a beautiful thing, accountability, okay? When done in love. So I want you to write about your vision, okay? Some of you already started writing. Maybe throw a few sentences in there and then finish it. Does that sound okay? I really want you to take time on this. Dress it up, slap it on the wall, put it on a nice background, whatever, okay? How many of you are committed to writing your vision statement? Okay, 3 hands, 4 hands. Oh, okay, all right. Did you raise your hand? Okay. Oh, you were writing, okay. Please do this for yourself. Do this for yourself. You owe it to yourself. You deserve this, okay? All right. And then when you have a vision, you got to set goals. And there's a thing called SMART goal, right? When you set goals, you have to be specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be attainable. So don't set a goal that you're going to make $5 million this year. That's not attainable. You know what I mean? Because then you set yourself up to fail, right? Maybe $1 million, but not 5, right? Or, you're going to, become muscular when you haven't been working out. Like, be realistic, relevant to you, right? To your why, right? Time bound. So when I ask people, and I love doing this, because I'm very I set goals and I stick to it, and because that's how that's how you pace yourself, you know what I mean? Like you gotta put a timeline to it. Like, is it in 3 months? So like my coaching program, which I had started, I'm like, okay, my goal is to have it rolled out. I have to start a focus group, so there are different stages, but I want it rolled out by June this year, which means I gotta hustle. Like it doesn't just come together, right? Now, when you ask people like, when are you gonna do this? And they go, soon, which sometimes my wonderful children would say, soon. I'm like, can you show me where soon is on the calendar, please? What page does it say soon? It's like, oh, Mom, right? How many of you do that, though? People go, oh, when are you going to do this? Oh, soon, as soon as I can get to it. Because it's out, right? Then nobody can hold you accountable. You can't even hold yourself accountable because you don't know what soon is. And then 3 years later, you're still talking about doing the same thing. You know those friends that like, let's get together for coffee. I'm like, give me 2 options, a date and a time. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, I'll get back to you soon. I'm like, goodbye soon. Okay, right? Like, we don't need to talk about having coffee anymore because soon ain't ever gonna happen, right? Okay, now I'm just leaving you some soft stuff. I saw this and I started doing it, okay? So it's a great way to sort of like collect the goods in your jar, right? One year at the graduate party, I gave out the gratitude jar. I don't know what people do. Maybe they put nuts in it, and I don't know. Anyway, it looks kind of like this. This January, start with an empty jar. Each week, add a note with a good thing that happened that week. On New Year's Eve, open it and read about it. The amazing year you had. We spend so much time about the bad stuff. Oh my gosh, we live it, we relive it, we talk about it, and then we forget all the good little things, a collection of little things. How many of you think it's a good idea you would do this? It's so easy. I started mine, I'm like, oh, look at all these colorful papers in there, okay? So here's some quotes. Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life because you become what you believe. Miss O said that, okay? It's what you say to yourself. It's what you say is the limitation that is your limitation. Nobody else takes better care of that for you than you, okay? You only lose what you cling to. So I've become like, what I've gotten really good at, and I had to work at it, is detaching myself from the outcome. The deal, the whatever, right? It's like, well, you know, if you don't want to work with me, you're going to come up with stories, and I'm not going to chase after you. And it's not because I'm all that. It's just I cannot spend my time getting my energy sucked into something I don't have control over. You know what I mean? Now I'm missing out all the other great people because I'm like trying to chase down this one person or whatever, right? So I'm like so detached about so many things that it frees you. You live so much lighter when you're not trying to like obtain something that is not within your control. Does that make sense? Okay. So this was the thing that Valerie was talking about, because this was left there on the slide from the last time. Of all strategies, knowing when to quit may be the best. How many of you have like multiple hats and things you're doing right now? Careers, hobbies, side hustles, passion projects, right? Really look at them and go, has it yielded me joy? Because if it yields you joy, maybe you'll make money doing it. But if it's not even yielding you joy, but you feel committed because you started and you can't quit, like that's just, you need to stop saying that. You got to do what is best for you, right? And you can only do 1 or 2 good things, like great things, at a time. Your brain is designed to, you know that book, The One Thing? You can really focus on one thing at a time. Like multitasking is not, you're just spreading yourself so thin and the jack of all trades, master of none, all of the things, right? So look at what might you have to drop. So I just came back from a conference, it's all about stop with the distraction. the things that are just filling your day. Oh, you're so busy, you're so busy. But they don't return any rewards. You don't feel productive. You just feel like you were busy, right? Out of commitments and obligations. I've gotten really good at saying no too. Like, you can do that in a nice way, respectful way, because people will come when you, like, they figure out, like, Valerie, she can get anything done, they come to her for everything. Every cause needs Valerie, right? Well, Valerie has to sleep too, right? So I'm sure you've had to say no to some things, right? I've had to say no to a lot of things, and, well, I like to sponsor stuff when it comes to schools. Well, I cannot sponsor the whole world because my family needs to eat, you know what I mean? Got to pay mortgages. So I'm like, this doesn't line up with me. It doesn't align with what I want to do, so I'm going to decline. It's okay. They'll still like you. And if they don't, oh well. Wasn't meant to be, right? Time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once you've lost it, you can never get it back. Value your time. Don't waste it. You know, when people say, oh, I want to tell you about my business. Can we have coffee? I'm like, nope. Nope. So you have to be the judge of that, right? Don't do anything out of obligation just because you feel that you have to for whatever reason. People actually, what I've learned is people respect your time more when you respect your own time and you value it and you make sure that you set boundaries, right? And especially the entrepreneurs, the people that are doing different things, you wonder like why you wake up at 3 a.m. because you haven't had time to decompress to go to sleep. Because you're just doing, right? And you're saying yes to all the things, okay? Okay, now I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing, okay? There's a focus group that I'm starting for the program is called Authentic Client Attraction, because I know how to do that. And I don't say that boastfully. I just know how to do it. There's a formula to it. Everything that I do now it's not always strategic, but I think about why I do certain things because attraction works both ways. I don't want to attract people that I don't want to attract. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want more work for me. I want people that respect me, value my time, Bart and my time, and want to work. Like, the clients that come to our door are like, we're not talking to anybody else. We just want you. Can you be our agent? What an honor is that, right? And, you know, last year, I mean, just to give you an idea, real estate industry was hit hard. A lot of agents quit, like a huge percentage, which I did not know because I was too busy working. And my broker was telling me, and my coach, and he was like, oh no, like our production was better than the year before. And that's just because we've been doing it the way that we've been doing it. And we have people just kind of referring clients to us. That's what I want to share with the clients that I'm going to be working with, whatever businesses they're in, okay? It's so much more fun when people actually knock on your doors as opposed to you knocking on their door saying, hey, can you please let me just have a chance to interview with you. Like, I don't, you know, Bart can attest to this. The last 2 years that he's been with me, you know, like agents were supposed to have like a listing presentation. Like I did that with Dyer and Ching. I haven't had to do that. Like it doesn't get there. Like I don't get to whip out my laptop or my folder or whatever. I just talk to them and they're like, okay, so what's the next thing? When do we sign the thing? And then we send the DigiSign. And I told Bart, I said, this is not normal. Like you're not getting like good training.
There's a workshop.
Every time we get in the car, I'm like, that's not how it normally goes. He's like, I know. Like, he can't duplicate that because I just go in there and he's like, I see what you're doing. You're just talking to them and you care about them. And I'm like, yeah. Because the technical part is you already know how to do that. And you get to a certain season in your life where it's not about like the pitch. Like, pick me. It's like, this is who I am in my jeans, my quoted t-shirts, and if you want to work with me, let's go, you know? And then they're like, okay, so are you going to send us some paperwork to sign, or how does this work? I'm like, oh yeah, we'll DigiSign. My coach is like, that's just crazy. That's not how people do things. Anyway, that's client attraction. The reason I tell you that is because there's a way in anything that you do that you can do that every single time. And you will get the right people to want to work with you as opposed to just taking anybody. And then you're like, oh God, how do I fire my client, right? I tried to fire a couple of clients, but they wouldn't leave. So we finished it out. And then when we hang up the phone, Bart's on the call. I'm like, that's not normal. He's like, I know. Like, I could find you another agent. No, but why? I'm like, oh God, okay. We'll stay together. Okay, so this is just kind of a glimpse of what, when you have a business, okay, so you have to have a unique selling proposition, right? And mine is, so I went through the whole process of like a bunch of stuff, and this program produces the words in a concise way. I help small business owners who struggle to generate clients and make money go from feeling overwhelmed and considering giving up their dream to creating stable, profitable businesses that attract clients naturally. This allows them to achieve financial security, gain self-recognition in their market, and focus on innovation. So I get bored very easily, so my business keeps changing and it looks different like all the time because I grow, right? So Bart's like, okay, what are we doing now? What? I would send him a bunch of stuff. I'm like, can you look through this? And he's like, okay, but you know about this more than I say. Can you just look through the details, see if we could do it? So I'm not a detail person. Anyway, but when you're innovative, people are attracted to that because you care. You show that you care, right? All right. So this is kind of the rough draft. I don't think did I put it in there? No, okay, sorry guys. I can send this to you guys, because I just threw this in, because I wrote it, but the rough draft of the module, so this is where the focus group is gonna help me. These were the things that I kind of put together that would be in the modules, because I think about what I've had to do to grow my business, right? Your why, your mindset, your skills, your agency, which by definition, the sense of control that you feel in your life, your capacity to influence your own thoughts and behavior, and have faith in your ability to handle a wide range of tasks and situations. So it's what's within you that you may not have even tapped into, okay? Discover your client avatar, which is huge, because how many of you chase down like anybody and everybody? Like, I was like that when I was new in real estate. If you're breathing and you say you want to buy a house, I don't even care if you're pre-approved. I just want to work with you, So you start, when you're speaking to one person, and it becomes one person times 10, times 100, times 200, you like nailed it. You know what I mean? You're a specialist. Somebody used to tell me, why you want to just focus on American Canyon? It's too small. Ooh. Prove you wrong, right? I like our office, which is mainly the production is really Bart and me. Remax Gold recruited us, opened that office for us. I mean, they're paying all the bills. They're like, we want you here. We can only open the office if you come. And we're like the #1 producing brokerage in American Canyon. Right? I'm like, okay, so you said don't focus on American. I love it here. But then we end up with clients in surrounding cities because not everyone can live here because there are not enough houses. You know what I mean? But niche down on who your avatar is and focus on and really drill it down. Like, stop trying to catch everything because you are distracting yourself, because then you don't know who your true message is and who you're speaking to, okay? Self-discipline, work ethics, boundaries is huge. It took me a long time to just we just talked about that, right? Setting boundaries really frees you up in your business and in your life. Your network, how do you leverage on the network of people that you have? Now, how do you have intentional conversations? When I go to a conference of we just went to the thing of 2,000 people, I just talked to 4 people. I don't need all 4,000 people. Nobody's gonna remember who's who, just a bunch of business cards, right? It's the 4 intentional conversations that you're gonna end up growing your business in your network. Okay, how do you do that? How do you do this, make those conversations? your business plan is huge. So I have to do that every year. So there's a finance section, right? Projections, blah, blah, blah. Anxiety in money relationship. How many of you have that? Come on now. Is it just me? Sometimes it wakes you up at night. I don't know, right? Like scarcity. Like, oh God, just, please just let me be in abundance of money. Then I can breathe better, right? Anxiety around your relationship with money, what it means to you, all the things. Marketing, branding, that's huge, okay? So that's kind of the rough draft of the program, but we deep dive into it, and I would be like doing coaching, group coaching around that too. And that's it. Is that it? That's it. We're done. So I just wanted to share. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So if you are interested in being in the focus group, you don't have to pay to be in the focus group, but the group is going to help me formulate. Sorry, I don't have 2 sheets. Yours. But the focus group is going to help give me feedback on these modules, okay? And if you decide to move forward, great. If you don't, that's okay. No hard feelings. You're going to add value, and I respect you. And when it becomes a full-blown paid course, it's an online thing. So that's the legacy piece, right? It has to go beyond the physical part. And I'm excited. Like, this keeps me up at night as I was preparing this, because I know that that's my next chapter. That's why we need to bring in more agents so that I'm freed up to be able to do the creative work that will impact small business owners. So I wanted to share that with you as well. It's not a sales pitch. So if you don't want to do the focus group, that's fine. But I want you to know. And if you know people that want to be in the focus group, and I want to take in, is attraction works both ways? I want to take in people that actually are going to value it and be willing to give feedback, not just like, oh, what did I miss? Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not rewinding. We're just going to keep moving forward together. Okay, so would anyone like to share, like maybe a takeaway or 2, just randomly to the group?
So
Yes?
You talked about how like the clients are just coming to you, and that was just kind of weird because everything that I do that's not authentically me and outside of my comfort zone, it's like I have to work harder. But what I'm doing now, like I said, I've been doing these workshops and people are asking me, oh, I'm doing a women's self-defense group class. Will you present for me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
My calendar, but I mean, when it's something that is authentically you and you're passionate about.
Oh, yeah.
So this is my passion project. Thank you for the new name.
Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And you know what? I used to do stuff for free, like the whole leadership stuff, and then I was like, and Bart's like, okay, when are you gonna make money with this leadership thing, like? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I ended up coming back to real estate, and now I get to just give back doing leadership work. You know what I mean? But now it's like the next season of this into an online program, because I see so many small business owners. I mean, I'm one of them, right? But I'm just at a different season where I can actually share how you can. There's an art in doing this. There's an art in doing this, and it's not salesy. You just got to be you, but people need to hear about you in your clear message so that they can say, oh, I like you. I want to do business with you. And they don't go anywhere. Once they like you, you know how when you go shopping and you like a certain salesperson, you keep going back to them? And the opposite is true. When somebody turns you off because they're just like chasing you down, trying to sell you the shoes, I'm like, I like those shoes, but I'm going to go to a different store now because I can't breathe around you. You're suffocating me, right? So it's that, right? It's the art of that. And sometimes I know that I needed coaching in so many stages of my life to be able to, because like you can't see yourself when you're in the picture. Does that make sense? Somebody else has to show you how you need to tweak whatever you're doing. Sometimes it's just a few words. Sometimes it's what you say. Sometimes it's your demeanor. It's a lot of things, okay? So thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Representing the middle table.
My discovery was just the why and the doing what we do each day to set an example for our kids and for me anyway.
Yes.
I want to be that person that gives the guidance and is strong and not feeling the insecurities coming over me and belittling myself, especially in front of the kids. Like I was getting to that point where I can't do this, or I'm doing all these things, but I'll get stuck on the one thing I can't do, or the frustration. So
Yeah.
just cleaning that up,
Yeah.
and dusting that off,
Yes.
and then just keeping that clarity for,
Yes.
for that vision.
And it's catching it. Sometimes it's a trigger. Sometimes it's like, and you have, like, if you have somebody in your life, just like, when I do that, like a signal or something of like, stop me. Don't let me choke on myself. You know what I mean? Okay, awesome. Anybody from that far table?
One of the questions was what's keeping you up at night. I usually don't have any problems. I usually just,
Oh, you're so blessed.
Now I think I'm gonna be, be all right. Because I'm gonna start thinking, Kasama asked me, what is your vision?
Yes.
Very simple question, but then I'm like,
Yes.
it's hard to answer because there's
Yes.
so many things that you want to be
Yes.
able to do, believe in yourself, that I can do this, I can do that,
Yes.
these are the barriers, blah, blah,
Yes.
blah. And now, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep well tonight because I'm gonna start thinking about Kasama.
And many more nights to come, my friend.
I can't even answer, the questions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would encourage to read my example vision because it goes into different areas and it's years of that, right? And it keeps getting refined. And you really, like, don't get caught up on the destination because we don't know our destination. Get caught up in the process of discovery. It's going to look different next year.
My favorite quote: "Life's a journey, not a destination."
Right on.
I loved that before I even knew what that meant.
Yeah.
Years ago. And
Yeah.
It's just that resonates so
Yeah.
much. It's so true.
However, like the GPS would serve you, right? If you don't have the address, no GPS in the world is going to get you there. It's just, make a U-turn, right? It's like, oh, does this address even, like we have a listing in St. Helena right now. People keep getting lost because it says lane, road, whatever, and the GPS is confused and the things, and we get calls. It's a headache, when you don't have a clear address. So, yes,
That vision.
yes, be in the journey, but what is it that you want out of your life in the next 10, 20 years? Like, what do you want to claim to be yours? You know what I mean? That's a vision statement. And sometimes you just say, I know this is, like the 2 trips, the mission trips, we didn't know for sure if I was going to go. But I put it down and I talked to my husband. I'm like, can you hold down the business, honey? Because I feel the need to travel. And then I'm like, well, and my passport expired. And I'm like, God, if you want me to go, please just kick the renewal passport. And it came 2 days ago. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going, right? But I'm just sort of like, you know what I mean? Like, you got to claim it. Sometimes you just got to claim the things that you didn't think were within your realm, or it's not convenient. I see Valerie do it all the time. What's your thing? Build the wings as you fly.
Build the plane.
Build the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of how I live too. I'll figure out the how. I just need to know the why.
And where.
Yes, and the what and the address. So I hope that you will take all of this with you. I would love to hear how things go for you this year. I hope that you really do the work, follow through, finish don't worry about you don't have all the vision thing spelled out. It'll keep coming up because now it's like when you see a blue Tesla, or you have a blue Tesla, now you see a bunch of blue Teslas because you're attracting it to you. You know what I mean? So be in that conversation with people you love, okay?
I just have one thing to say.
Yes?
On top of all of this, when you showed us your vision board, it reminded me like 2 years ago, I was like, we need to have a vision board. I'm like, I want a food truck, and I want this.
Oh.
And then that year, year before, we ended up with a food truck. And my vision board fell, so I put it somewhere,
Uh-huh.
and I left it there, and I forgot about it, and one day I pulled it out, and I was like, hey, there was a food
See, right?
And it was just like, it's like if you can think it, somehow it's gonna, like, I mean, I'm a person of faith, so like, we pray and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And just, really believe that God put the right people in place. For
Yes.
the right things, and like, this food truck came about, like, by accident more. So we were looking, and this food truck didn't have enough pictures. And our agent was just like, oh, there's this food truck. It used to be a coffee truck or whatever. And I said, there's no pictures. I said, can we just do more pictures? And it was like $80-something thousand at first, and I guess they lowered it because nobody was buying it. And then they gave us photos, and I was like, that's exactly what I want. And it was in San Diego, so we were able to drive it, and it was permitted in California, so you need to do that. But everything was just in place, and it was just like, this was part of our vision.
Yeah.
And this was like part of our journey of
Yeah.
like what we were gonna do. And so here we are. And then, Ramsey had this vision because he's such a Warriors fan that we were going to work with Clint.
Oh my God, that's so awesome, right?
Yeah, but it also is like the partnership that you have with your spouse. Like, Ramsey's like, I would have never gotten that because I don't talk, but you do, and you. He's like, you and Rona, like, really hit it off and this and that, and like, he's like, you know how to talk. And he's like, I just have a vision. I'm like, okay, but it is like,
Yes.
it becomes like a partnership. Like once you guys became partners.
Yes.
I know you're a person of faith too, but like it was just like your whole business blew up.
Yeah.
Right? It was
Yeah.
like God always meant for you
Yeah.
guys to work together
Yeah.
as partners.
And your voice is your vision. You know what I mean? You gotta cast it so that the universe and everybody in your life can support it. But if you're holding it in because you don't think, or you're like, oh, it's too big, can't do it, you won't even hear it. And if you don't hear it, how is anybody else gonna hear it? The food truck came from the vision. You know what I mean? So that's a tangible thing, but like, just don't be afraid. And so what if you don't, the Tesla thing, I think that was 2 years ago, I don't remember. But I put it up there, I'm like, all right. Oh, there it is. Oops, there it is, right? So it just, man, just like, go get it. Go get what is yours. Go get the things that would allow you to be a blessing to other people's lives. Because when you receive, there's just so much more that you can give. And you're not in a place, you're in a place of abundance. That's the best place to give. It's just like this. I love being with you guys because by just being with you and you're giving me feedback, I'm blessed by it. Period. There's no money involved, right? It doesn't have to always be about money, but it's going to turn into something that's going to be people that I haven't met yet, So, guys, thank you for sticking around. Thank you so much. God bless you. Love you guys. All right, can we get a group picture? We got to do that. Are you guys okay with that? Okay, let me see.